What's going on, everybody? It is Uturn Crobat here, and you are watching Uturn Central. Now, before I get started, please make sure you go into the description, and please make sure you click on the link for Poketown. Make sure you click on all the Pokemon groups that I have listed below, because if you show them some Uturn love, you'll just end up joining the group, and you'll get some awesome battles out of all those groups. So, make sure you do that. And make sure you RCS to me, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I am bringing you another Wi-Fi battle against Eman. Eman is an administrator for the Pokemon group Poketown, and he and I were gonna battle, he and I decided to battle once again because, well, something went down. We decided to do gym versus gym and everything, and we had a small little issue and I felt bad, and so we ended up battling again with normal teams this time. And so I was happy that we ended up battling again because I just wanted to kind of show off some of my other pokes and everything. And he is a great battler, and I'm really happy I got another battle out of him. Now, I decided to go out into my Darmanitan, thinking he would probably end up going for something who would be more vulnerable to fire, but you know, clearly I didn't predict well at all. So I ended up going for my choice banded U-turn, which does not do too much at all. I don't know why I put the emphasis on the choice banded, but anyway. So I ended up going with my Swampert, and he ends up using his Stone Edge on my Swampert, which does not do too much at all. Now I'm thinking maybe I can just hit this thing with a waterfall, but if he decides to go into a Pokemon who resists water, then I don't really want to take that chance. So I'm deciding to use my Ice Punch because some of his Pokemon are damaged by ice. And so I'm thinking if I use my Ice Punch, who is going to resist that, you know? I don't want to take that chance. So I end up using my Waterfall just because whatever Pokemon does resist it, I do want to try and get a flinch off because flinches are always nice. And so he ends up going out to his Bisharp, which is awesome. I absolutely love his Bisharp, and he ends up using the Swords Dance, but I do outspeed, and I do get the EQ off on his Bisharp, and I do take him out right then and there, which is pretty cool because if I didn't, then he would have just destroyed my team because he did use the Swords Dance, you know, and a Swords Dance, Swords Dance, not Swords Stamp, is pretty dangerous. So he ends up going out into his Venusaur, and I don't want to leave my Swampert in because that Venusaur will just destroy my Swampert. So I end up going into my Darmanitan because I can just take out this Venusaur with my Darmanitan. So he ends up Mega Evolving, and I'm thinking, you know, even if I do get maybe like a Flare Blitz off or something, he will have thick fat, and he will be able to take it, but he ends up using the Giga Drain off on me anyways, and he does get some of that HP back. Not that it really matters because I didn't really hit him with anything, but he ends up going into his Landorus, and I decide to use my Flare Blitz because, well, one, I did not really predict him to go out into his Landorus, and two, I was thinking if he was going to bring out anyone, I just want to get some damage off on him. But I am a choice banded Flare Blitz Darmanitan, so I am able to take out his Landorus in a single shot, which is awesome because I don't want that Landorus doing any damage to me. So he ends up switching out into his Porygon 2, which is awesome because I do love Porygon 2s, and I do love Porygons. So he ends up tracing me, so I switch out. I don't really want to take any attacks that this Porygon has to offer, so I end up switching out into my Durant because I'm going to try and maybe use a Steelhead or a Iron Head, whatever it's called, or do something. Now, he ends up using a Discharge on me, which hurts me quite a bit. Now, he ends up using the Magico, which I'm not familiar with at all, so I'm not really sure what that move does, but I end up try to hit him with an Iron Head. Now, that does not work at all in my favor, because he ends up using the Discharge on me, and just takes my Durant out right then and there. And that's rather unfortunate, because I know exactly what my Durant can do. I know what kind of power my Durant has, so I end up going into my Crocodile and using my Retaliate. Typically, my Retaliate can do just a lot more, because if your Pokemon faints before you switch into Crocodile, then the Retaliate attack does get boosted, so. But I was not thinking that the Porygon was going to be extremely beefy. I mean, I completely forgot about that, so I decided to switch out because I don't want my Crocodile going down right then. He ends up using the Ice Beam on my Blue Flash Zangoose, so I end up getting the Toxic Boost, and I am able to take out the Porygon right here with a close combat. Now, I'm thinking of trying to leave my Zangoose in, because at this rate, you know, I'm not really sure who he's going to bring out. Now, I can take a couple more hits from the Toxic, but I don't want my Zangoose going down too fast, so I'm just trying to feel him out. He does go out into his Crobat, and his Crobat is obviously super fast, so I switch out because I don't want my Zangoose going down to a Scarfed Brave Bird there. So I switch out into my Swampert because my Swampert can take some flying attacks. It's not weak to it at all or anything, so I'm thinking, you know, I can maybe just take that. And luckily I do, but I am living at 19 HP, which sucks for me. Now, he ends up losing some of his HP because of the Brave Bird recoil. Now, the reason why I thought that it was a Scarfed Brave Bird was only because he and I were talking after this battle, and he asked me if my Crobat was a Scarfed Crobat and everything, and I said no, it was banned. But that's the only reason why I thought that he was a Scarfed Crobat, but it's not. It was a Life Orb. Stupid me. Oh well. So he ends up using the U-turn on my Crocodile, which, you know, sucks. So he takes it out right there. Now, unfortunately, my Crocodile does go down. And, I kind of wanted to try and save him. Not save him, but save him. And so, I'm thinking, who else can I bring out? So he goes out into his Mandibuzz, and I know what this thing is weak to, so I decided to go into my Blue Flash. I know that maybe I can hit a Facade or a Close Combat or something. Maybe not Close Combat, but a Facade or something on him. So that's exactly what I do. I use a Facade, but he is able to take me out with a Foul Play. And I am happy I was able to take down the Mandibuzz that much, because now I can switch out and just take this Mandibuzz out with like a Rock Slide or a Stone Edge or something. So I end up switching out into my Darmanitan. My Darmanitan does outspeed, and he is able to use the Rock Slide on the Mandibuzz and take him out. Now, I am happy with that result because I know what Mandibuzzes can do, and they are really tricky if you don't predict well. And so I've had plenty of experience with them, and they just suck to go up against them. He ends up going out into his Crobat, and he just destroys my Darmanitan right here with a Brave Bird. And so while my Darmanitan does go down, I'm thinking, okay, is he just gonna destroy me with a Crobat? That'd be kind of awful, but I'm just kind of thinking, what else can I do? So I end up going into my own Crobat, and because my Crobat is banded, I do outspeed, and I do decide to use my Brave Bird, and I am able to take his Crobat out. I mean, even if he was not living with that much HP, I was thinking maybe I would have done more than what I wanted if he had full HP. Maybe I would have done maybe like half. But in any case, he decides to go out into his Venusaur. Now, obviously, you know, I do outspeed, and he is weak to flying. And while this was going on, I was thinking if this Venusaur was or is thick fat, then maybe the Venusaur could live if he had more defense. But I know he's weak to it, so I'm not really sure if he could or not. That's something I'm gonna have to look up. But this was a great battle, simply because it showed off what my Pokemon can do. It showed off what my Crobat can do. It showed off what my Zangoose can do, my Darmanitan, and just everyone else. You know, it was a great battle just because of that. Now, I love his team, simply because his Bisharp can wreck house if given the proper advantage, and so his Mandibuzz as well. That thing can just bring your Pokemon down to like certain amount, so his Bisharp can come in and just destroy you. So those were two problems that I was going in against. His Crobat as well. I was kind of wondering what this Crobat was going to bring to the table. Was it going to be a Choice Banded Crobat? Or was it, was it going to hold something else? Luckily for me, it held the Life Orb, and I was able to outspeed and take him out. But at some point, we are going to have another battle. And at some point, I want to do like a one-on-one Crobat versus Crobat thing. I won't upload it, but I do want to test out maybe like a Choice Banded Crobat against maybe like a Choice Scarfed Crobat or something, and see who's going to outspeed and see who's going to live the Brave Bird Assault. So That's something I want to try and do later on, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, because I really did. It was quite fun. I will provide you with more battles like this in the future, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys do not forget to go into the description, because Eman is watching you. He is watching all of you. He is watching what you do, so he is going to be watching you go into my description. He is going to be watching you click on the link for Poketown, and he is going to be watching you. I kind of lost focus there. He is going to be watching you, you know, hit up that group and battle people. He is the administrator for the group, so just make sure you show him some Uturn love. He's going to really appreciate that. And so, I hope you guys rate, comment, and subscribe. RCS, RCS. Don't forget, guys, do that. Have a great day. Peace.